Look closely at the people sitting next to you. Think about the 5 people you spend the majority of your time with. You text them every single day. You share your biggest dreams and your deepest fears with them. You eat dinner with them. You take their advice. Now, I want you to stop and ask yourself a very painful, very uncomfortable question. Are these 5 people actively pushing you toward massive financial freedom? Or are they quietly, comfortably, and steadily pulling you back down into the trap of the middle class? You can spend thousands of hours reading all the financial books ever written. You can study the stock market until your eyes bleed. You can start a business, build a brand, and work 100 hours every single week. But if you are surrounded by people who possess a poor mindset, you are fighting a war that is mathematically impossible to win. You are trying to run a brutal marathon while carrying heavy bags of rocks on your shoulders. It is only a matter of time before you collapse. Let us look at Warren Buffett. He is arguably the most successful investor in human history. When people ask him for his ultimate secret to building a multi-billion-dollar empire, they expect him to pull out a complex spreadsheet. They expect a secret formula for analyzing corporate balance sheets or predicting macroeconomic trends. But one of his most powerful, absolute rules for success has absolutely nothing to do with numbers, charts, or the Federal Reserve. Buffett simply says, "It is better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you will drift in that direction." This is not just a nice motivational quote you put on your wall. This is a brutal survival rule for wealth creation. Wealth is not just about the green paper in your wallet. Wealth is a frequency. It is a specific way of thinking, a unique way of approaching massive problems, and a completely different lens through which you view the world. Poverty is also a frequency. And the brutal truth that no one wants to admit is that mindsets are highly contagious. You absorb the energy, the fears, the limitations, and the daily habits of the people around you like a sponge, whether you realize it or not. We need to define what a poor mindset actually looks like. A poor mindset has absolutely nothing to do with how much money is sitting in someone's checking account right now. You can be completely broke, sleeping on a floor, but possess a rich mindset, and you will eventually become incredibly wealthy. It is only a matter of time. On the other hand, you can win the lottery, inherit $1 million, but if you have a poor mindset, you will lose every single penny and end up worse than where you started. A poor mindset is a chronic disease of complaining. It is that friend who always, without fail, blames the government, the global economy, the politicians, or their boss for their lack of progress. It is the person who genuinely believes that rich people just got lucky or that they must have done something illegal to get to the top. It is the well-meaning family member who tells you to stop dreaming so big, to get a safe, secure job, and to just accept your average life. It is the internal voice that immediately says we can't afford that, instead of pausing and asking, how can we afford that? When you finally decide to elevate your life, when you start aggressively saving your money, investing in assets, and building a business late at night, something very strange and disturbing happens. Your old circle of friends will not celebrate your ambition. In fact, they will probably try to quietly sabotage you. They will make passive-aggressive jokes about you being cheap because you refuse to go out drinking and waste $50 on a Friday night. They will tell you that your new business idea is way too risky and that 90% of businesses fail. They will constantly send you negative news articles about the stock market crashing just to scare you into selling your investments. Why do they do this? Are they evil people? Do they consciously want to destroy your life? No. They do this because your newfound ambition makes them deeply, psychologically uncomfortable. Your decision to grow and take risks holds a giant mirror up to their decision to stay exactly where they are. If you actually succeed and build a wealthy life, it proves to them that they could have succeeded too. But it proves that they were simply too lazy, too comfortable, or too scared to try. It is mathematically and psychologically much easier for them to pull you back down into the mud than it is for them to put in the work and climb up the mountain with you. In psychology, this is known as the crab mentality. If you put a single crab in a bucket, it will easily climb up the side and escape to freedom. But if you put a group of crabs in that exact same bucket, none of them will ever escape. The moment one ambitious crab tries to reach the top edge, the others will reach up with their claws, grab it, and pull it violently back down to the bottom. They will destroy each other just to keep everyone at the exact same level of misery. If you truly want to build extreme generational wealth, you must ruthlessly and honestly audit your social circle. You must identify the crabs in your life, the complainers, the energy vampires, and you must cut the cord. Let me be clear. This is the hardest, most painful part of the journey to success. It requires you to create physical and emotional distance between yourself and people you may have known for your entire life. It might mean spending your weekends completely alone. It might mean sitting alone in your room on a Saturday night, reading boring financial reports, studying markets, or coding a website while everyone else you know is out at a party having fun. But you must ask yourself a serious question. What is the true price of keeping these comfortable average people in your life? The price is your future. The price is your financial freedom. The price is your ultimate potential as a human being. Are you willing to trade your empire just to fit in with people who are going nowhere? Warren Buffett did not build the Berkshire Hathaway empire by surrounding himself with pessimists, complainers, and people who watch TV 8 hours a day. He purposefully surrounded himself with brilliant, rational, cold-blooded, analytical minds like Charlie Munger. If you want to be a lion, you cannot train with sheep. If you look around and realize that you are the smartest, most ambitious, hardest-working person in your room, you are in the wrong room. You are not growing. You are stagnating. You need to pack your bags and find a new room immediately. You need to actively seek out people who talk about investments, assets, and ideas, not other people and gossip. You need to find individuals who are completely obsessed with personal and financial growth, not mindless entertainment and weekend plans. You need to surround yourself with people who make you feel embarrassed by how small you are currently playing the game. Imagine entering a room full of people who are 10, 20, or 50 times more successful than you are. Your entire reality shifts. What you previously thought was a massive, impossible goal suddenly becomes just a basic starting point. Their normal becomes your new standard. Do not be afraid of being isolated during this transition phase. Solitude is the required price of greatness. You must use that time alone to read relentlessly, to build high-income skills, and to forcefully upgrade your own mindset. You must become the kind of person that high-value, wealthy individuals actually want to associate with. When you elevate your own frequency and become a person of massive value, you will naturally attract the right network into your life. But let me warn you about something almost nobody talks about. When you finally enter this phase of strict isolation, what some people call monk mode, the silence is going to be absolutely deafening. Without the constant noise of average people distracting you, you're going to be left completely alone with your own thoughts. And at first, your own mind will try to trick you. Your own internal poor mindset, built from years of societal conditioning, will scream at you. It will tell you that you are working too hard. It will tell you that you deserve to take a break. It will whisper that it's okay to just go back to the way things were, to text those old friends, to go to that weekend party, just to feel normal again. Do not fall for it. Normal is exactly what you're trying to escape. Normal is struggling to pay rent at 65 years old. Normal is living a life of quiet desperation and massive regret. This brutal period of isolation is your financial cocoon. It is the exact place where you break down your old, weak identity and forge a completely new one. It is during these quiet, lonely nights that you will read that one book that completely changes your perspective on capital. It is during these boring weekends alone that you will learn the high-income skill that will eventually make you your first $1 million. Every single self-made billionaire, every titan of industry, went through this exact same phase of darkness. They disappeared from the crowd, they put their head down, and they built the machine in silence. When you finally emerge from this solitude, you will not just be wealthier, you will be completely unrecognizable to the people who knew you before. You will be operating on a frequency of pure, relentless execution. Stop letting people who are going absolutely nowhere dictate the direction and the speed of your life. Protect your energy like it is your most valuable asset because it is. Guard your mindset against negativity. Cut off the dead weight, embrace the quiet solitude of building, and start constructing your empire brick by brick. If you are finally ready to upgrade your circle, cut the poor mindsets out of your life, and program your mind for extreme wealth, make sure you subscribe to Smart Investing Wisdom. We are your new circle. We are the ones who will relentlessly push you to build your empire when everyone else tells you to quit. Keep your head down, do the work, and I will see you in the next video.